Scared Stiff Part 7. No one had ever called him Jim before. It had always been Jimmy, like he was always a little kid or something. He sucked in a surprised breath. The older man had caught him off guard. He expected the lecture, he hadn't expected the other man to talk to him as though he were, well, old enough to know better. He lowered his head a little, feeling suddenly ashamed. Is she okay? Callie's father folded his arms across his chest, looking as foreboding as he did when he first came in. She's got a bit of a headache, but that could be as much from the pain you caused her as anything else. You cause my little girl grief, God help you. Jimmy swallowed, suddenly feeling the seriousness in the other man's words. Callie meant everything to him, and he'd hurt her, just like his father hurt his mother. He'd often wondered, growing up, whether that was the reason she'd had a nervous breakdown and had to have been institutionalized for a while. When she got released, she didn't even want to go back to get him. It took Jimmy a lot of years before he got past that particular heartbreak. He stared at the other man for a long time. Who was that guy anyways? Callie's father shrugged. An old friend of my daughter's. They went to grade school together, and he thought he could make things easier when he was in high school by knocking over a gas station. He had a gun and thought a robbery would make things all better for his family. Little did he know. He snorted, stroking his mustache thoughtfully. He was a little hoodlum all through school, but my daughter has a talent for picking someone who isn't known for making the right choice. He sighed. She made a real mistake, getting involved with a punk like you. Jimmy lifted his chin, his eyes glittering. I'm going to beat this, and get her back, he promised. Wait for it? Her father shrugged. Your uncle's not coming for you this time, kid, and my guess is your uncle's had enough of your tough guy routine. He saw the surprise flash in Jimmy's eyes, and chuckled. I know your dad, Jim. I know your uncle too. You don't need to know how, just that knowing is enough. Your uncle's a damn sight smarter than your father ever was, and at least he had the smarts to quit being a punk and grow up. Jimmy stared at the other man. His uncle, the one who kept kicking his ass because he kept losing it, was a punk. No way, Jimmy wanted to tell Callie's father, but he hesitated, his heart thumping in his chest as he realized the truth in the other man's words. There was just too much his uncle knew about fighting, and how many ways he knew to successfully subdue someone instead of knocking them flat. Suddenly, it made too much sense, and he realized that he'd entered into a realm where he was no longer the big guy. Oh, he said. Yeah, oh, he drawled sarcastically. You see, there's always someone bigger than you, just waiting for you to be a threat so they can beat you down. Only reason why Terry didn't hit you is because he has some sense of honor. Even I realize he was trying to help Callie. Jimmy reddened. So that was the guy's name. Half the time, when he'd attacked the other guys who'd talked to Callie at school, he barely knew them. He wanted to protect her and keep her for himself. Suddenly, he felt, rather than saw, a few other pairs of eyes on him. Older men, even older than Callie's father, were looking at him, sizing him up, as though they were considering. Jimmy clenched and unclenched his fists, feeling suddenly cold. I don't suppose you could bail me, could you? Callie's father snorted derisively. You cocky little, he shook his head, stroking his mustache again. Jimmy was so irritated by that one maneuver that he wanted to reach out and rip the man's face off just to get him to stop it. Callie's father was so annoyingly calm, like the rest of the cops he'd met over the years. Jimmy could feel his blood boil with the aggravation of it all. Didn't he know how scared Jimmy was? Didn't he care? The problem was, Callie's father cared all too much. That's why he'd gotten into policing in the first place. He was all too like Jimmy when he was a teenager, alone, afraid, and wanting to escape the beatings at home. Growing up, he vowed that he would never let any other kid go through what he did at home, and so, with top honors from high school, He immediately signed on to get his college diploma in police foundations, leaving his drug-addled parents behind and hoping against hope that he wouldn't see them in a morgue somewhere before too long. Of course, his parents did get killed. His mother overdosed and his father was shot, but he never went to the funerals. He didn't see the point to it. He hadn't spoken to either of them virtually since he'd left the house. He hadn't even thought of it as home anymore. He'd risen steadily through the ranks of the force until his past was all but forgotten.